Hello students, today we are learning about the extension of British rule, the lesson number 2 in your history part. The British were already strong in Bengal, Karnataka and Hyderabad, so they wanted to build or expand their power in other parts of India. So they had a very strong army as well as the brains or cunningness in their act, and also we Indians had loopholes, so which they took advantage and started conquering the Indian states. So they wanted to conquer Mysore in south, Marathas in western part, and Sikh in northwest part. So these were the three things which we are studying in this lesson, but we are focusing about Marathas and Sikhs in this particular lesson. And if you all remember, you all know that Marathas were not about only one thing. Marathas had some sub-king or clans, sub-clans which we had. If you can recall, just remember in your previous standard, we all studied about the Marathas, that is Peshwa, Gaikwads, Holkars, Scindia, Bonsales and Puras. So these were the clans of Marathas. Now we will be studying about the Anglo Wars. There were three Anglo Wars. The first is First Anglo-Maratha War. And in the previous lesson, the first lesson of your history in Battle of Buxar, you have come across this name, Shah Alam II. Shah Alam II helped Mir Qasim for waging the war against the Britishers. So Shah Alam had given some parts to the British. Similarly, what did this Shah Alam do after the war, that is Battle of Buxar? He gave these two places, Kora and Allahabad, to Marathas. Only these two places were given to Marathas. Shah Alam II gave Kora and Allahabad to the Marathas. By this incident, Britishers were angry. So they were angry about Marathas. This was one of the reasons to wage a war against the Marathas. Second was the famous queen Madhav Rao. Madhav Rao Peshwa died. He was the very efficient king among the Peshwa, and he died. When he died, his brother Narayan Rao became the ruler of the Peshwa. When he became the ruler, when Narayan Rao became the ruler, his uncle, Raghuva was his uncle. This Raghunath Rao or Raghuva, he killed the Narayan Rao to become the next Peshwa. Raghuva killed Narayan Rao to become the Peshwa. But seeing this incident, the officials in the Maratha or Peshwa court opposed Raghuva, and they made Madhav Rao II as the Peshwa. Who is this Madhav Rao II? Was son of Narayan Rao. He was son. Narayan's son was Madhav Rao II. So what happened? Raghuva got very angry and he went to the Britishers. He sought the help of Britishers. And Britishers made war from 1775 to 1782. In the initial days of war, Peshwas were strong, but later they started to rule, or they lose. When they started to lose, they entered to this agreement called Salabai Agreement. By entering to this agreement, First Anglo-Maratha War came to an end. So did you understand the things, the reasons for the first Anglo-Maratha war was Shah Alam to give Kora and Allahabad to the Marathas. This made Britishers angry, and in the same time the famously Madhav Rao Peshwa died. When he died, there were a fight between his brother Narayan Rao was made as the Peshwa and his uncle Narayan Rao. So the officials opposed Raghoba, and his son Narayan Rao's son Madhav Rao too was made as the Peshwa. So Raghoba seeked the help of British, and British waged war against the Peshwas, and the war ended with the agreement, Salabai agreement. After this, we will be studying about Lord Wellesley, the Governor General of the English. Lord Wellesley had three policies. One is subsidiary alliance. Why these policies were adopted by Lord Wellesley? To expand. His aim was to expand the power of British in India. To rule in India, he adopted these three policies. What are these three policies? Are subsidiary alliance. Second one, waging war against newly formed state. If there is a new king or new state formed, the Wellesley aimed such state and waged the war or made the war. Next is about administrating the states directly under the control of British. Like if they had won some state, they used to directly control the rules and regulation of that particular state. So these were the 3 points or 3 policies of Lord Wellesley. And the very important is subsidiary alliance. Subsidiary alliance had the 6 points to remember, and this is very important. It can be asked up to 5 or 6 marks. Depends on, if it is a 6, they will ask you who made the policy of subsidiary alliance. So who was it? Lord Wellesley. And then they may ask about this explanation of subsidiary alliance. The first one, Indian king must have a British army in his court. The first point is, Indian king who agrees for subsidiary alliance, in his court he must have a British army. Indian court or Indian king should have a British army. Second one, Indian king should pay the expenses or the wages of soldiers and certain amount of land revenue to the Britishers, like expenses of army, wages of soldier and land revenue. They should take care of all the money, sorted issues with respect to the soldiers and the salaries of the soldiers. Next is about, to look after this, there must be a British resident in that particular Indian king court. The king must have one British resident in his court, and king should not appoint any European in his court. Like Britishers were also European. Apart Britishers, there should be no one from the European country. Next is that no agreement should be made between the neighboring kings. He cannot enter any of the treaty or the policies with the neighboring kings. That was the first point. And the last is, if all the 5 has been agreed and maintained by the Indian king, in return the Britishers would give them protection from aggression. Means the fight or the war. It might be internal aggression or it might be the external aggression. So this is about the subsidiary alliance. You have to remember all the 6 points. So the next is about the Second Anglo-Maratha War. Second Anglo-Maratha War starts between, the aggression was between the Marathas itself. There was enemy Holkar and Scindia. The Holkar leader was Yashwant Rao and Daulat Rao from the Scindia. Yashwant Rao and the Daulat Rao. Yashwant Rao and the Daulat Rao were the rulers of Holkar and Scindia respectively. They had enmity to overcome or to overrule the Peshwa. They wanted to remove Peshwa from a higher position. So both were trying to attack the Peshwa and they had internal aggression also. But what this Holkar did in the year 1802, in the year 1802, Holkar attacked Peshwa. Holkar attacked Peshwa and Scindia both. Holkar attacked Peshwa and Scindia. At that time, Peshwa seeked the help of Britishers. So Peshwa don't want to give away his power. So he seeked the help of Britishers. So he seek the help of Britishers. When he seek the help, what did the British do? During the rule of Lord Wellesley, Peshwa seek the help of British. So Lord Wellesley was the person who started the policy called subsidiary alliance. So Britishers said Peshwa to sign for subsidiary alliance. You all know that there were 6 points in subsidiary alliance. So the Peshwa has to obey all the 5 points. So in turn he will get the 6th point. After signing the subsidiary alliance, Lord Wellesley helped the Peshwas. Lord Wellesley fought enormous of war, multiple of wars. Like he had other clans. They fought with Holkar, Scindia, Gaikwad, and etc. So when he was fighting, he was very much upset. He gave up his patience. So he resigned. He resigned Governor General post and he returned to the England. This was about the second Anglo-Maratha War. The third Anglo-Maratha War, the Marathas, Peshwas all wanted to protect the independence, the freedom. Even Peshwas were fed up of the subsidiary alliance rules and regulation. You cannot pay so much of expenses, or you cannot do any of this independent work. You cannot go out, or you cannot go out in a sense to make the agreement between the neighboring countries. So what happened was, even he was fed up of the strict rules of Britishers. So Peshwa attacked British residency in Pune. In Pune, he attacked British residency and burnt it down. He burnt. So at that time, other Maratha leaders such as Appa Sahib, Mallarao, even they were suppressed. Other Maratha rulers such as Appa Sahib and Mallarao were suppressed. And also the Peshwa called Bajirao II, he attacked in the places called Koregaon and Asli against the Britishers. He made a war in the place called Koregaon and the Asli. When he made, but the war wasn't successful, so he was removed from his Peshwa post. And instead of him, they brought Pratap Singha as the main leader of Marathas, not Peshwas. They made it as Maratha, the single ruler. He made as a ruler of Marathas. This was about the third Anglo-Maratha War. Afterwards, we are going up to Anglo-Sikh War. We are going to the Anglo-Sikh War. The The powerful king was Ranjit Singh. Ranjit Singh made a treaty of friendship with British in the year 1809. But after the death of Ranjit Singh in 1839, British misused his death. In the sense, instead of friendship, they made an attack against the Sikh in the Punjab. So the war was in the Punjab and the British. When this happened, and Ranjit Singh was a very powerful king, when the war happened, the civilians or the normal people got angry against the Britishers, and all were united, irrespective of religion. Hindu, Muslim, and Sikh, all these three were united and fought against the Britishers. But it wasn't successful because Britishers were strong and they couldn't take the aggression made by the Britishers. So the war was ended with the agreement called Lahore Agreement in the 1846. We have to remember other leaders or the main leaders who fought in this Sikh war was Mulraj in Multan and Chatur Singh Atalwala in Lahore. They were from Multan and Lahore. These two leaders were prominent while fighting against the Britishers. And in the year 1848, Dalhousie became the Governor General. He introduced a policy called Doctrine of Lapse. He introduced a policy called Doctrine of Lapse. It was a great blow or a great drawback to Indians. What is this law in the sense? If a king has no kid, if a king has no kid or a heir, don't think H-I-R is H-E-I-R. Means a person don't have his own children, then the king has to give away his kingdom to the Britishers. He cannot adopt the children or he cannot adopt the even though he adopts the children, those adopted children have no power to rule the state or a place. So this doctrine of lapse was made many of the kings to fight against the Britishers, and this was a condition where majority places came under the Britishers such as Satara, Nagpur, Jhansi, Jaipur and etc. When this situation happened, when the king don't have a child, he cannot adopt, even though he adopt, the adopted children cannot rule. In that situation, the king has to give his kingdom to the Britishers. When this situation happened, the villagers or the civilians of the normal people, you can take it as normal or civilians, they are ordinary people. They waged a war or they made a rebel against the Britishers, and which led to a Sepoy Mutiny. You will study in further lesson mutiny. What is this in the sense? You will study, and it happened in the year 1857. The common people itself started going against the Britishers. That moment led to the Sepoy Mutiny. So we have studied in this lesson about 3 Anglo-Maratha War and 1 Sikh War and 2 policies. The 2 policies are also important. Subsidiary alliance by Lord Wellesley and Dalhousie introduced Doctrine of Lapse. By this, the second lesson gets completed.